All right, well, we're gonna make a little bit of coffee, so I figure if you're stuck at home and you can't get to the office, you may not be used to making your own coffee, or you may want to take it up a notch if you're not going to your local coffee shop or your Starbucks or whatever you're doing. So we're gonna start off with any good cup of coffee, you're gonna need tasty coffee. There's lots of tasty coffee companies in town, and one of them is Cafe Brioso, who we're using right now. So, one of the biggest things, we're going to be using a Chemex today. You can make coffee many different ways, whether it's auto drip, whether it's Chemex, French press, or whatever your favorite maker is. But one of the big things is going to be measuring your coffee for consistency. So here we're going to use a digital scale to take this coffee, and we're going to use a 1:17 ratio, which means for every gram of coffee, we're going to use 17 grams of water. If you're just making a drip pot of coffee at home, you can either use grams and kind of figure it out with the water you're using, or you can just use tablespoons, and it's typically 1 tablespoon for every 6-ounce cup, or for a 10-cup pot, use 10 tablespoons as a baseline to adjust to taste. All right, before we grind the coffee, we're gonna need some water. Biggest deal is tasty water makes tasty coffee. You want to use about 200-degree water, not quite boiling, but you want it to be nice and tasty. So Brita filter works out pretty well. The best type of water to use is usually going to be as close to spring water as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and wet down my filter. That takes away some of the papery taste that you'll get sometimes in like pour-over coffee. And once that's done, also is going to heat our vessel. We are going to pour the water out and grind the coffee right into the coffee maker. All right, with the Chemex, you want a medium coarse grind. Looking kind of like that, kind of like big chunks of sea salt. Level it off, zero out my scale, and then what we're going to do first is called blooming. We're going to wet the coffee down without agitating it too much, but we're going to double the weight in water that we use for coffee. So we used 31 grams of coffee to make this 16-ounce cup. We're going to use about 62 grams of water to bloom it. I'm going to start. Again, try not to agitate too much, just get the coffee wet. Voila. And then we're going to start a timer if you want to be fancy about it, and bloom the coffee for about 40 seconds. All right. Now, we're going to start the center of the coffee, we're going to pour, and we're going to agitate the coffee. I'm going to go ahead and double it again, adding about 120 grams of water for my first pour. Pour very slowly and break down or dissolve all the solids till you get a uniform, lighter color across the top. All right, and coffee is ready to go. Thanks a lot, y'all.